Get Into Gate. This is episode 117. We're talking Stargate SG-1. The full Get Into Gate team is here. My name is Mitch. Joining me, Matty Gibson.
Yo.
Brennan Gibson.
Hello there.
And Rhys Gibson.
Yeah, g'day, guys.
We are veteran fans. Introducing Rhys, a first-time watcher to Stargate SG-1. One episode every week, and we are all the way up to episode 6 of Season 6, Abyss. Let's rip into the synopsis as is on the back of our DVD cover here and see what it's all about and throw it over to our first timer and see what he thought. A Gold Lord holds O'Neill captive and tortures him for information about the Topar. As O'Neill suffers, Daniel Jackson appears and offers support. Meanwhile, SG-1 races to rescue O'Neill before it's too late. Written by Brad Wright and directed by Martin Wood. A couple of OG names there.
Yeah.
In back.
The A-team. Brad Wright and bloody M. Wood.
Yeah. Well, Generation Next last week really let us down, and Deloise, Joe and Paul with Nightwalkers. So
Yeah, so Brad and Martin step up and go, you know what? We're going to bring f***ing Shanksy back as well.
Yeah.
Cop that.
That was done.
Yeah, can we just talk about that for a second?
No.
moving on.
Credits.
Tune in next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Credits.
How
Give it
annoying.
away. Well, I mean, the
Ruined
synopsis gave it up on the DVD as well, which was ridiculous.
Well, see, I don't usually pay attention to the credits, but this came up in massive letters.
Yeah.
Special
guest appearance.
Michael
Shanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's
That was
not
in
a
his
surprise
contract
anymore.
to ruin it.
Well, it's worked in the last 5 seasons, so
No, see, and you'd be surprised to know that I was watching this episode while I was doing the dishes, and
No ironing
so I
this
didn't.
time.
No, I haven't ironed in a long
finish that
time.
before the episode.
I don't think I
Did
pulled
the
out the
ironing in
iron
Nightwalkers.
this year. But I had my eyes off the screen for a lot of like the first 5 minutes, I reckon, and yet I managed to glance back and see special appearance by Michael Shanks, and I was like, oh, really? Like, I'd forgotten that he was in this
Yeah.
episode. Haven't seen it in over 10 years. And even still, for me, not the first time watcher, it was ruined for me. Whereas I know you would have been dedicated to actually watching the show that you're
Well,
going
see,
to be
that's the thing.
reviewing.
Like, if the credits didn't come up, man, that would have blown my mind.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's just blatant. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a reveal like that, like it was an instant reveal. Shit, he's there.
Yeah.
Like, don't ruin it.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, bloody love this one. It was so cool, man. Like, obviously not an introduction to Baal, but the sort of having him
How
in charge.
sinister he is.
Yeah.
Oh man, he
Yeah.
just did not give a shit.
Well, yeah. Apparently, one of the reasons they did Summit and Last Stand, not only from a story point of view, was also to just introduce some fresh blood in terms of the Goa'uld, and it was almost like a semi-audition to see
Right.
like we put these 7 Goa'uld on screen. Let's see who the fans are drawn towards.
Yeah.
And we'll do some more stuff with them.
Yeah.
And after Summit and Last Stand, people were like, we want more Baal, we want
Yeah.
more Baal. So they gave us Baal in this
Shit,
episode, which I think was
And
great.
it was brutal. Like, I don't think we've ever seen we've seen torturing and the whole light out of the nose and mouth and eyes and
Orifice.
stuff. But this was next level shit. Like, he was just
Yeah.
that bloody gravity manipulator thing that he's got.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Really cool. It's funny. It's like it makes such a cool episode, like the way he's like dropping the acid just like from his hand and all that kind of stuff. And that would make him look like a god to
Yeah.
human slaves and all that kind of stuff. But what I love about it is it also plays into the arrogance of the Goa'uld, because it's like that's actually really dumb. Like the fact that the cells are just like this gravity generator with no f***ing bars on them or gate.
Yeah.
And then what happens in the episode, they lose power, and then the prisoners can just walk out. But the arrogance of the Goa'uld being like, well, we'll never lose power because I'm a god,
Yeah.
and you're all human slaves, so I can have these cool f***ing toys
Yeah.
that are actually really, really bad from a logistics point of view. I think that is such a great example of the retardedness of Goa'uld. Like, just they're so...
But yeah, that was next level. Dropping the knives into him
Yeah.
and killing, and then you see him do the first 2 knives. That third one, you see him let it go, but then Jack wakes up with the hole in his shirt right over his heart, and you're like, oh man, like
Yeah.
he was dead.
He's dead.
It's taking it out of him.
Gone.
And how good did bloody RDA have it? He was laying down for most of that episode acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the commentary, Martin Wood was saying they actually, all of those sets, there was 3 of each of those sets. There was like the upright, then the down, and then
Right.
one that they needed that was like built on a gimbal that actually did turns and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
Both of us went to film school, Mitch. How much did that give you a massive hard on watching that set turn. Because that's why part of the reason I fell in love with filmmaking is...
That was a weird question. Hey, Mitch, how hard did your dick get throughout this
It
episode?
wasn't weird at all.
It's not the first time he's asked
It's
that
not the
question.
first time he's asked that question.
It's about
Mitch
the
often
particular
says,
episodes. But
my cock was like 10 hards.
10 hards.
Yeah.
I haven't before, but I'm going to start.
Yeah.
The reason that I know that you and I both liked film was because you could do practical effects. And that's all we had access to as well, being 13 with a
Yeah.
Sony Handycam.
And a rock hard dick.
And a rock hard.
10 hards.
Here I was about to say making movies in our bedroom, but then with a rock hard. Backyard better.
10 hards.
I was almost let down a bit when you quite clearly saw that they did, not CGI, but like obviously blend two different shots because they, and in fairness to them, they did want that shot of O'Neill not faking that he was laying down. Like if he would have just been standing up against a wall, like his clothes would have been naturally falling to
his
natural
skin,
gravity.
You could see his skin.
Yeah.
Sort of
Whereas opposed his skin was like pulling back, and his clothes are all naturally falling against the wall rather than the floor. So I'm glad that they went to that much effort to fix up the details. But because you were only working with a TV budget in 2002. You could tell that they had, Baal walking around in the normal set, and then they just sort of like put the extra layer in of O'Neill. But when they did apply practical effects, that just looks so cool because it looks more real. Like you don't need to CGI this or something like they would do these days because like it's probably easier than building a set that would rotate or something like that. So it looks so much more natural because what I love about the Gould and the way that all their architecture and stuff, it's just so like granny and stone and like it's a lot of friction and it's just very bulky and shit. So when you actually see a big, heavy, dirty set move like that,
I think that's why Descent was so good with the whole set moving into the pool. Because it's just such a cool practical effect.
Well,
and
do you know what
it looks so good.
Yeah.
What I find most impressive about this episode is they had RDA for 3 days.
Yeah.
So he did and he's in almost basically every
He's
scene.
in the whole thing.
He did that in 3 days. So a lot of the reverses of when he's being tortured by Baal wasn't even there. So RDA is reacting to just someone reading lines off camera. And then Baal is actually torturing like a stand-in. And they're just shooting the reverses at another time. So it's really just all his scenes with Daniel all kind of done in one hit, and then all those other scenes done in one hit in 3 days. It's pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah, that's why you could tell it wasn't him in that night scene at the start when they're running through, trying to get to the gate.
That was Dan Shea. That was Siler.
Yeah, Sergeant Siler.
But and if you look really closely, when he's running and like he gets to the DHD and gets shot from behind and sort of lands in the DHD, he knocks a bunch of tiles off, like the little symbol tiles.
Really?
A whole bunch on the right hand side fall off.
Wow.
You got to look really, really closely.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Hey, time for the segment to return. It's the sounds of Stargate.
Oh.
Now, this song is called
Abyss?
The Abyss.
By Norwegian punk rock.
Yeah, I can't remember. I didn't write it down here.
Oh, I was just making it up.
German band called Fresh Horse.
I could look it up.
From their album 1 Star.
This one's called The Abyss by 3 Days Grace.
I know 3 Days Grace.
Yeah,
Do
they're
they
not
sing
Norwegian.
that I Hate Everything About You?
Probably, but this is called The Abyss.
it's creepy.
This is actually be cool to be those, those like fan-made video clips where they take scenes from like a TV show and put it to music. You could actually get the torture scenes from Abyss and put it all together with this over the top. It would actually be really cool. Alvin, get on that for us, will you? Yeah, nice.
Ugh.
Well, that's if anyone who 3 Days Grace also sang that well-known song, I hate everything about you. You know that one? Sure.
I couldn't sing it anymore.
When will I love you? No, okay, fair enough. It's a good song.
That sounded a bit 3 Days Grace. Sounded a little bit Linkin Park light.
Yeah.
They are.
Chester Bennington light. Like a very similar high pitched voice.
It does get heavier as you move through. As you move through the song.
Very cool.
Nice.
I just like the words because it is kind of fitting. Like lost connection with the outside world. Like no one knows where Jack is. That was the biggest peril in this. Not only that he's stuck with Baal and Baal's trying to destroy him mentally and physically, it's like there's no chance of a rescue here.
I mean, they barely knew much about where he is when they did know where he was with the Tok'ra. It's like they still didn't know much about what was going on. It's like, oh, they still need him. And then that bloody him and the Tok'ra just go off on this rogue mission.
Yeah, that's the thing. Wouldn't Hammond send an escort with him to go and get a Tok'ra put in him? Or like an SG team or two people,
Yeah,
maybe.
you think Teal could have been like, I'm going with O'Neill.
Well, they did.
Hate the Tok'ra. What's going on?
Remember at the end of Frozen, is Jack got wheeled through, like he got taken through the gate in that emergency tube thing.
Yeah.
And it's like Teal'c was holding one side and
Yeah,
Jonas
all of
was
SG1
there. And
went
like,
there,
they
yeah.
all went through, but then they all kind of went,
left him
okay,
there.
see
Yeah.
ya, bye.
Cool.
Just
Right.
like drop it
Don't
off
kill him.
Drop it off at daycare. It's like, we'll pick you up later.
Yeah.
It's like,
Pick you up when
really,
you're
guys?
better.
I do like the idea that the Tok'ra had to deal with O'Neill's like mission in life. We don't leave people behind, and his ethics. I don't know why. I was just like, that kind of makes sense for me. Obviously, he's never come across someone who thought that strongly about something. So he's like, all right, O'Neill, I'll take you to the planet, rescue her. Now I'm getting the out of Dodge. I'm going to make like Christian and Bale out of you.
Well, it even does tie in a little bit to Jolinar as well. It's like she kind of saw what a good person Carter was and then sacrificed herself to save Carter's life.
Yeah.
So it's another instance where, like, you know, SG-1 are such a strong sort of moral compass that it's like they can actually influence the symbiote
Yeah.
to make these decisions, which I really like. I like that kind of, like, we're pushing back. Like, the fact that the Goa'uld symbiotes can take over the entire bloody galaxy,
Yeah.
but put them in a member of SG-1, and SG-1 can actually push back and be like,
Yeah, that's
no,
pretty
no,
cool.
no. I think that's...
We're awesome.
That's really cool.
It's kind of changed the dynamics a little bit of what we learned about the symbiotes from last week, where we had, like, there's a serum out there that can... it might only work on juniors, and again, we never hear of it again, but there is a drug out there that has been known to dissolve the symbiotes and keep the host alive and well. And then this, that they can kind of push back and influence them, even though he was okay to a point with having a Tok'ra inside him, that he could influence it to go and make the right decisions and all that. Whereas for the last couple of seasons, or at least the first couple of seasons early on, nothing of the host survived. And I know that was just a Goa'uld lie or whatever, but still, that was just what we come to know and accept about the symbiotic relationship between a Goa'uld or a Tok'ra.
Yeah, speaking
and
of that fact where you say the Goa'uld say that none of the hosts survived, but as Baal's torturing Jack, he's like, we know the Tok'ra, that part of the Tok'ra still exists in your mind. And it's like, well, you're contradicting your own propaganda.
And here's what I thought was interesting. Obviously, like, Baal has all these cool toys, doesn't have the mind control that Apophis had, because otherwise why wouldn't he just, like, brainwash him? And then he's... Jeez, I forgot about I totally forgot that was a thing.
Or even the one that Hathor had in that bloody flashback.
Oh, yeah, and her little
Yeah.
misty stuff. So Baal doesn't have either of those toys to get the information that he needs. He's just got cool gravity stuff and acid.
I'm going to pretend like I'm only watching Stargate for the first time with his first episode. Why couldn't Baal just put another Goa'uld in O'Neill?
Too easy.
Plot?
Is it literally? Is it just plot?
I think so.
Like, I get that.
Well, I guess that Goa'uld could lie. I don't think they trust each other. That's,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're always
I
internal
suppose-
battling.
Yeah, last time we saw Baal, he was eating symbiotes. So
That could have made for a really cool exchange, though, I reckon, if, like, O'Neill asked him, he says, if you want this information bad enough, why don't you just stick a snake inside my head?
Yeah.
And then Baal sort of, like, hesitated, goes, because you don't even trust each other, or something like.
Yeah.
He could play through the inner politics of the Goa'uld, I think.
Because if
Just
they
have
put
another-
a Goa'uld in O'Neill, they'd have to kill O'Neill straight up.
here's something
Because
interesting,
then-
though.
No, they got the serum.
Of course. Sorry. Yeah, cut that
One
out.
week wonder.
But plot's why they didn't, but plot
Yeah.
could be why they did,
Yeah.
and then rewrote the... I don't know. They just stick him another 2 weeks holiday with the Tok'ra while they safely remove it.
It's a bit convenient, though. It's like, 4 seasons ago, Carter gets implanted by a Tok'ra, gets tortured, and then the Tok'ra kills itself, and then she gets tortured about it later on or whatever. Well, she whinges about it for seasons and seasons and seasons. And she can sense Naquita, and she can use Goa'uld. She knows how Goa'uld technology works.
Yeah.
Jack never talks about this again.
No.
And he got the same thing. He got injected with a Tok'ra.
Yeah.
He got taken out, and then he gets tortured for it later on.
He probably knows everything. He can use hand devices, that sort of thing, but he just wants nothing to do with it. He's like, I'm not even going to tell anyone about this.
Actually, that'd be fun for probably Brendan and maybe Mitch in a couple of seasons' time in Citizen Joe.
Yeah.
When he kind of gives a big reveal there, it's like that'd actually be a fun one. It's like he's been able to work Goa'uld technology ever since this point. He's just like, oh, I don't want to do the paperwork. That'd actually be really good. That'd be really cool.
And I know that it had to be a reveal with O'Neill, like pre-credits, that he was the one that we saw the snake drop out of and that everyone was attacking. But I actually would have loved to have seen Richard Dean Anderson's face as O'Neill speaking with a flanged voice. Like, for that to be like 5-10 seconds into the episode where the woman falls down and it's like, hide into the trees until I've activated the chopper eye.
Well, do you reckon that was even his VO? Like his voiceover?
Probably
Didn't
not.
sound
Just to hide it from the audience just that little bit longer.
Well, Shanks.
There are
Thor.
there is precedent for that. In a couple of weeks' time, Jack does meet a pouch poacher again, and Richard Dean Anderson doesn't like the effect, the light coming out of the mouth and eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Because it should be coming out of his butt as well.
Well, his ears and all that, and his nose, all that kind of stuff.
Penis.
So he actually kind of pulls.
Maybe it is.
He actually pulls rank and says, "I don't want it coming out of my eyes. Mouth is fine. I don't want it coming out of my eyes." So he consciously, like, on the day they're recording, when he's getting hit with a pouch poacher, he closes his eyes so they can't make the light come out of it. So it could be a similar thing. Maybe he didn't want a flanged voice.
So here it's like that's in the script, is that the light comes out, but he goes out there and he just keeps his eyes closed. He's like, I'm executive producer.
Now, the first thing I had written down here in my sort of notes here was a question for Rhys, and that's, do you think it was too soon for Daniel to be back? We're only the 6th episode in, so he's only been gone for six episodes. I mean, in real time when the show was airing, it's like there was obviously the end of season 5, then like a 3 or 4 month gap, and then these 6 episodes.
Yeah, and he wasn't in the finale of season 5 either.
Yeah, but for you, I mean, it's been like not even 2 months since Daniel died. Was it too soon for him to be back already?
No, I didn't really have an opinion on that. I thought it would have been awesome if they didn't ruin it in the credits.
Yeah, it is a great reveal. Like,
yeah, but I liked it. I liked him. I mean, obviously he's bloody even more bloody arrogant than he was before. I can do anything I want,
but
I'm not going to.
Why would I?
Why are you here, mate?
Fun.
Like, I was just waiting for O'Neill to go, well, f*** off home then. Why are you here?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked his return, and the fact that I knew that he wasn't going to be there again next episode made me feel better as well.
I can't believe you.
Got himself.
Good song. I can't believe you hate Daniel that much.
I can't believe you hate Jonas that much, to be honest.
Oh, just wait, buddy. Just wait.
Wait till season 7.
Now, back in season 3, in Forever and a Day, when Sharae died, you gave Brendan and I a little bit of shit because we were talking about Daniel in the hallucinations wearing a very important sweater.
Yeah.
This is why. Now he's back. He's wearing that same sweater from his hallucinations.
It's his Ascension sweater.
It's his Ascension sweater! No doubt.
Jeez, like when Walter goes into combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, yeah.
That's his Ascension sweater, dude.
Yeah.
He was wearing his Ascension sweater back in Forever and a Day.
Right.
Yep. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Cool. So when that
Especially when
Tokra
you go
jumped
back
out of
and watch
Jack, when that Tokra did jump out of Jack, where did it go? Is it dead now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't really move.
Just committed suicide. Well, he snaked off into the dirt.
Snaked up.
Yeah.
And what was the thought there, do you think?
He's like, this. I'm not going to get
Get tortured, yeah. I'd rather be dead.
So
or
he's like,
not
I'm
give up
having-
the information, I guess.
Because
I
he
don't
knows
know.
that O'Neill knows stuff. Like O'Neill could get tortured and tell him things, but he
Yeah.
just doesn't want to feel the pain. Like it's just a complete bitch
Yeah.
out move.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying to you last week, Mitch, that I think this is the perfect thing they've done for the O'Neill character in terms of the Tokra.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to be another John and I rehash with him always saying, oh, I remember this great memory from my Tokra days.
Yeah.
It's like that. Those pricks are just like the Goa'uld.
Yeah.
I've always been right. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
He's justified in his opinion.
Yeah. And then, it was like Kanan was just like, well, if I get tortured, I'm so weak-willed I may give up information, so I'm going to peace out, so A, I don't have to go through the torture, and B, I know, because he's been blending with O'Neill, it's like he knows O'Neill's not going to give up that information.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, done.
Yeah. Bit of a bitch move.
Yeah.
So I guess, the whole reason to save the Tok'ra, this the Kanan guy, whatever his name is, was to get the information. So I assume they got the information that they needed out of when they mentioned it in Frozen. But we never hear about that. What information was it?
Well,
For what?
we don't.
Well,
we
at the
don't
end of
get to know.
Frozen, the only reason, you know how RDA or Jack says, over my dead body. And Carter's like, but they have important information that we need. And he's like, yeah, all right.
It was probably the schematics of Baal's bloody
Gravity
fortress.
generator, yeah. Could have been.
Yeah, you're right.
Any other questions?
But we don't
Well,
know for sure.
Don't get too cocky. We haven't got to has Rhys been paying attention yet.
Yeah, well, I got to get it in here, so I know I'm not going to get 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But that bloody Tok'ra counsellor, what a dick!
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from a couple of weeks ago.
Mate,
That's
just-
Modo.
Just blames Jack. Oh well, who knows? Jack could have taken off.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Well, he wouldn't have. And then when General Hammond comes in and he's like, "We need the schematics." Nah, I'm not giving them to you. I need to make it in person. Well, you're not going. You're a guest.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to risk our relationship. General Hammond's like, I don't give a shit, man.
Which I thought was fun because in Tok'ra 1 and 2, when SG-1 get arrested, basically held captive by the Tok'ra, they like, I prefer you to think of you as our guest. So it's the exact same line as it is in that episode, which I thought was kind of fitting, considering we're just doing it back to you.
And that little smirk that Tilt gave when he's like, yeah, bitch.
cop it.
What?
Speaking of, if you go back and watch this episode, Chris Judge is in the audio commentary. So definitely give that a listen.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's him and Martin Wood. That's pretty good, actually.
The thing I like about this episode, not only is it great acting, fantastic writing, excellent directing, but even the cutaway scenes are fun. Even the briefing room, I think that was one of the best briefing rooms we've had, where it's just like they're just owning this Tok'ra guy.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't care about diplomatic ties, we don't care about anything, and it's actually engaging. Whereas usually those cutaway scenes, it's like, get me back to the action, get me back to Jack and Daniel and Baal.
Yeah.
But I think,
and
all these cool scenes.
And obviously all the Jack and Daniel scenes were absolute gold. It's just them at their best, sort of back and forward, back and forward, back and
That
forward.
was so good.
I did notice a little bit of a logical error there too. It's like after Jack's been killed for whatever time, the guards come back, dump him in the cell.
Jesus.
Dump him.
That actually scared me. Wow.
They dump him.
Holy shit. I just jumped. I hope no one did the same driving listening to this. We might cause some accidents.
Oh, those levels are all over the place.
Actually, were that because it's been so low, the other ones, I'm like, I'll just boost up a little bit. Holy.
So they dump Jack back into
Sorry,
the
Jack.
abyss.
Mitch, we got to take a break. Mitch has got to change his pants.
Yeah, he does.
I'm going to have a heart attack.
Back after these short messages.
He's like he's on the 8 hards right now.
If only you had your ass guard on.
We're going to play ads for nappy sand.
So
Or just nappies.
Great people.
Adult diapers.
So the guards dump Jack back into the abyss. And then he has a scene with Daniel for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then the guards come and get him and take him away. And it's like, well, that makes no sense for the guards to put him back into the cell for 2 minutes to then take him to get tortured again, except for him to have a scene with Daniel
Yeah.
to be like, save
I think
me.
they explained that. Daniel said, "Oh, they're going to let you get your wits about you or something, recover from the
Sarcophagus.
the recovery."
Mate, I was thinking it was more like Baal's killed him, and then the Jafar put him in the sarcophagus, take him out, put him in the cell, go back to Baal, and he's like, well, where is he?
Oh, you want to go again? Okay.
Oh, we'll go get
See,
him.
I thought you needed 15 minutes for a nap. Okay, all right, we'll go get him.
Yes, see, I figured that they've gone put him in the sarcophagus, and then they've gone knocked on Baal's door, and he's like, "I haven't finished taking a shit. Give me 2 more minutes."
What I did think was weird though is that those 2 guards had like the same like bleach blonde hair. Did you notice
Yeah,
that?
I did. Yeah, that was
I
so
was
weird.
like, what? I don't. Is
And
that...
it wasn't even blonde. It was like orange. You could tell that they're just dark haired, and they're like, "We need to bleach both your hair."
Yeah, you look too human. We're
Oh,
gonna-
okay. I'm like, that's definitely Aryan race shit.
Yeah, Baal likes his like Aryan race Scandinavian. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you. Yeah.
What
that
I was wondering
odd.
when Jack was laying on that gravity spiderweb thing, why didn't he stand up?
Maybe it was heavy gravity.
It was extra.
Yeah.
Extra.
Gravity is
Like pinning him down. Could have been like 3 times
okay.
Earth gravity pinning
5
him down.
G-force.
Yeah.
I guess those knives moved pretty quick.
Yeah, it wasn't just a... You think about it, if you're lying on the floor and I sort of drop a knife on you, it's not going to, plunge its way all the way into your fucking heart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there would have had to have been, I guess, a couple
he
of...
cranked it.
Yeah, cranked it
I
up.
like that.
so he couldn't stand up.
Don't stand up.
Please stand up.
Do not stand up,
Please
please.
stand up.
This is not for standing.
Yeah. I would
No
say,
standing zone, thank you.
I would say all in all, though, that was a pretty shitty world.
No standing in my hot dog copock.
Damn, I wish I had like the South African translation. Damn it. All right, so we're going around the world and finding out what this episode was called in other countries. We'll go this one really quick because they all pretty much just say the abyss. French.
Well, it's not really. It's more to hear your accents.
Yeah, so let's do that. So French is abyss.
Classic.
What does that mean?
That means abyss.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Abyss.
Italiano. Close. L'abisso. Spanish.
Uh-oh.
Abismo.
Abysmal.
Abismo. M-O. Abismo.
Abysmal.
You haven't got an accent on there. Do the accent.
Oh, abismo. No, Mitchell,
racist.
Mitchell, you will not say a sound because you told me a couple of weeks ago to imitate a Spanish person that I know, and I was doing Slowpoke Rodriguez from the WB cartoons.
I don't even know what that is.
That's Speedy Gonzalez's friend, Slowpoke
Slowpoke.
Rodriguez.
Why not just-
Slowpoke
Oh,
Rodriguez.
that's him.
No, I'm actually, whenever you do that, I'm
Sounds
like,
fun.
oh god, that sounds like Speedy Gonzalez. That's what I love about it. It's taking me back to my childhood.
Yeah, no, it's Slowpoke
Oh, that
Rodriguez.
abysmal.
Dig up, Mitch.
I genuinely love it.
So we go over
It just
to...
takes me by surprise every week. That's
Abysmal.
Oh, wait till we get... Wait till we get the Australian mate. So over to Czech. And it's Kobka. Kobka, which actually translates to cell. It's the only one that's not abyss.
You sound like my dad when he's speaking Czech.
Kobka.
My wife's
Kobka.
Czech. She taught my dad a few words. Like cheers is nastravi. He's good. Nastravi, Bidana, nastravi. Good one.
That's close to
Roll the tongue, Jimmy.
yeah, that's very close because isn't Russian cheers is like Dostorovia, isn't it? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very close, isn't it?
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Russia invaded them, mate.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go there. So we go to
That was a long time ago. We talk about Nazis all the time.
No one's alive.
we go to Hungary. Go to Hungary.
One.
Trying to get my Transylvanian Hungarian. Is
Pennsylvanian.
a millisig.
That's more Borat.
A millisig. Well, he's from he's from Kazakhstan. That's in that same area. So that translates to the
Sure
abyss.
is.
New Zealand's in the same area as Tasmania.
Yeah, sort of.
Roughly.
And the German. So the German is am Abgrund.
What did you grab?
Am Abgrund, which translates to on the brink.
No, that's on the brink.
On the brinker.
Lincoln on.
And then finally, once again, thanks to the ever so talented Lincoln, Australian translations. So do we want to do the long ye old?
Oh, please.
So he
Australian?
does 2 for each one, does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's what a talented, cunning linguist he is. He can do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
So the ye old Australian is, bloody Toker gets O'Neill f***ed up. Some bird asks the same question heaps of times, and Jacko rocks up with powers to teleport, none to help, but sports an ascended sweater. Top work, Jacko.
Jacko.
Is it you? That creeps me out. that
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Is it you? You're like, what?
And then the modern Australian is just simply, badass Bale, shit up
In the corpork.
in the callboard. And that's around the world.
Oh, how good was that, Mitch? Timing.
I call you a professional radio guy.
Set the level.
Like I'm in a rave.
When speaking of that chick where she's like, "Is it you?" Why did she keep disappearing?
Yeah.
Is it just in his head?
Because she was a hallucination.
dead?
No, she's in the cell next door, around the corridor. They could have been talking to each other the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no doors.
So the premise of the episode, it's hard. You got to watch it a couple of times, but basically, she is a hallucination the whole time until he rescues her right at
Apart
the end.
from the gate scene.
Yeah, at the start.
At the start.
And then at the end, every time she's sitting at the front of his cell saying, "Is it you?" That's actually a memory from when Kanan and him went there to rescue her, broke her out, and because she's used to seeing Kanan in a different host.
Yeah.
So O'Neill rocks up as Kanan and says, "Hey, it's me," and she goes, "Is it you?" And he's like, "Yes," and they run away, get captured, and then they're both back in cells. So the point of that being that Jack also thinks Daniel is a hallucination because he's hallucinating this chick. He thinks Daniel's a hallucination as well.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
I just threw my shoe through you.
Yeah.
And isn't it good to have the Tok'ra only for the fact that that character, no, we'll never see them again because they decided to stay with the Tok'ra.
Yeah.
Same as Charlie 2.0, same as
That's
bloody.
it.
Why would she?
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't know anyone.
Yeah.
As if they should trust
turns out
her.
she's a host now.
Yeah, oh, it's true. Yeah,
Full host.
Yeah.
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 You want to be a Tok'ra?
Not really. Well, you might have to return home if you don't. All right.
Send you back to Baal. All right
I
then.
hate to tell Baal the coordinates of the planet you're on, but
Well, I guess it's kind
they
of like,
just say to her, "Oh, it's lucky Martouf's dead, or he'd have a crush on you."
what happened to Baal's first Lotar? Wasn't it in Summit and the Last Stand? Was that guy's the dude who was introducing her? That was Baal's,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, but they said in that all the Lotars were going to be killed at the end of the summit, so they didn't.
yeah.
They didn't sort of learn anything to pass
But it's
on.
it.
Go yourself.
Oh, wonderful.
Whoa.
But I was just thinking the human slave in Summit and Last Stand said to Daniel, when Daniel said, "What if they make us a host?" He goes, "We could only be so lucky." So I wonder if she had that same mentality as she wants to be a host to a snake in the head. Maybe she will be a Tok'ra. She will be up
Maybe.
for it.
Maybe she just got
Put
a case
whatever
of,
snake you want in me.
Maybe she
I don't
just got a
care.
case of Stockholm syndrome and fell in love with Kanan because he's a snake as well.
Yeah, true that.
did you, Rhys, think that O'Neill was telling the truth, that he didn't know anything? Because just the way that RDA was playing it, because I thought he played that really well. Like, I don't know, and
Yeah.
just kept going back, kept getting killed, kept getting tortured. And that he doesn't care about the Tok'ra. When he said, "I don't give two shits about the Tok'ra."
That's the thing, because I was watching it with my wife, and she's like,
My wife.
when she was saying Moab, and she was like, she's like, why did O'Neill tell Baal the Tok'ra's name? And I go, because he doesn't give a shit about the Tok'ra.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if Baal goes and kills him.
Plus,
O'Neill
I think
hates
it
him.
just came to him.
Yeah, that's the impression that I got, is that he actually didn't know anything, and then he was getting these flashbacks like, okay, yeah, I remember this, so I'll tell ya. But then obviously when he's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell him that he loved her or she loved him, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, that's
I
the
liked
impression
it
I
where
got.
you get to O'Neill's breaking point where he's like, "Daniel, you have to get me out of here, otherwise I'm going to tell him everything."
Yeah, like he didn't want to get angry at Daniel, but he's like, dude, if like just do something.
Yeah.
Like, what's your problem?
You got all this
swear to
power and
God.
you're not willing to do anything with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I can't change anything.
So what did you think, Rhys, when Teal'c went into deep state of Kelnarim and came up with the idea of, maybe he's at Baal's fortress?
Oh, look! As soon as I saw those candles, I'm like, "This is the solution. This is where it comes out."
The guns.
Yeah.
So
No, I thought Daniel was going to go visit him in his Kelnarim.
Do you think that actually happened though, but just kind of like subtly?
That's what I figured? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the intent. Is it's
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah, and then
Well-
Daniel says to Jack, I didn't do anything, so I didn't have to do anything, so it's not my fault."
Yeah.
But he basically told them where he was.
That's what I liked when Jack was like, "Hey, look, you don't have to." When he's like, "I can't change anything," and then Jack's like, "Yeah, but if I die, and I don't want to come back here, so
Yeah.
you don't have to change anything, but just sort
Just
of make
kill
it
me."
permanent."
Yeah. That was heavy.
I'm like, that's good. That's like when Daniel said to bloody Scorched Earth guy, "Oh, isn't it against your programming to not
Yeah.
care about these people?" And he's like, "Zick, zick, 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 zick." What?
Fembodies.
error.
Yeah, I always sort of Oi, what's happening?
We have an off-world activation.
I'm actually crouching under the desk, like between Walter's legs right now for this one. That's my
I've got a spaz 12 between my legs.
that's my action station
Can you
for
make
this
some
one.
room for me? Because I got to get over there as well.
This is your god, Queen, from the Emerald Isle. I have listened to your podcast, and it pleases me. Continue to please me, and you will not suffer the wrath of your god. P.S. Apophis Redonic, bitch.
Sorry about that, guys. This piece of filth managed to grab my GDO in the middle of a fight. While I'm here, I'll introduce myself. I'm
Epic.
Kevin from Ireland, and I
Filthy
love the show,
potatoes.
guys. Keep up the good work, and hopefully one day we'll meet up for that beer. Right, I'm going to head back out there. By the way, that's my GDO, you prick. And good luck, guys.
Brilliant. That was epic.
That was great.
Oh, they keep getting better.
Wow.
I love the fact that people send us these transmissions. They're in a room by themselves, yet they have such a great conversational voice. And even that, he's talking to something that's like,
Oh, the creativity.
it's brilliant.
It's through the roof.
It's honestly
I love it.
brilliant. We haven't been
Poppers
let
went
down
out
yet.
like a bitch. I love that. I like that bit, and he is pleased. That sounded so much like a Poppers.
It's like we've been doing this for 6 seasons. We've not flanged our voices once. Not even thought about it or tried to find a way to do it.
Yeah, I've thought about it. Haven't bothered.
My
Yeah.
GDO.
You prick.
And I hope that was the same soundbite of the staff blast that killed Shara. It sounded like
Yeah, it did actually.
it sounded
I've
like
said that several times.
Yeah.
What was that when we did when we did our farewell to Shara, and we had you did a song up or some shit?
I did,
And
yeah.
we're like,
Star
out of
Blast,
respect, that's the actual stuff.
Actual staff blast.
that killed it.
That was great.
I'm gonna sub in some random staff blast.
Out of respect, cop that in your face.
Kevin from Ireland. Kevin Adoni.
Kev
from
Dog.
Ireland.
Done.
Well
Brilliant.
done.
Deep potatoes.
Epic.
Put that in the catalogue.
Oh shit, yeah.
Is it racist to say we'll have a Guinness?
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Okay,
No, because he's white.
Oh, gotcha.
Stereotypes
assuming-
aren't
I'm assuming
racist.
he's
Well,
white,
they can be,
so-
but this one isn't.
I've never drank Guinness. I've never had it.
Yeah.
Try it
Bird
once.
beer, mate. You know where
like a
Guinness was
nice-
invented?
Oh.
It's like a nice
America.
dirt
'Cause
water.
because beer's so tasty as it is. What we need to do to it, burn it.
Oh, don't. Beer is delicious.
I love some
wouldn't have
Guinness.
thought so.
I love me some Guinness. It is an acquired taste. You just got to keep drinking it till you like it.
like
Much
Vegemite.
like most beer.
That's the advice she gave me when we went to Kentucky. We're going to Europe, and I'm like, I don't drink beer.
Yeah, well,
Like I'm all about spirits. I'm not man. I haven't been a man enough at 21 to like start drinking beer. And you're like, you've just got to keep drinking it, get over the bitterness, and then you'll just come to like it.
Well, here's the thing.
You just accept the bad taste. And you know what? You were right.
I've said this
We drank
before.
litres at a time in Europe, and I loved it.
I've said this before. The one beer that I've only ever been able to drink is 4X Bitter, which you guys will shudder at.
Horrible.
I don't mind it.
And then I
horrible.
remember for my 21st, a friend I was working with, she said, "Oh, there's a really great beer from Tasmania. It's called Beck's beer. It's really, really good. You should get that." And based on her recipe, well done. I was thinking we were done because we had the big long one, and you've done it again.
Totally thought that was over last time.
I hate everything about you. So based on her recommendation, I didn't buy just a 6-pack of Beck's because I thought, what's my 21st? A 6-pack's not going to do it. I bought a whole carton of Beck's beer,
Yeah.
drank one, and it tasted like shit. So I didn't drink the rest of it.
Yeah, that's beer in general, mate.
Yeah, you got to
And it's
neck
not
it.
cheap. That's not a cheap beer. It was like $50 or $60 for a carton or something. It was
German, isn't it?
no, Tasmanian, I think.
Oh, same thing.
I thought Bex is German or something.
Tip for young players: don't drink it out of cans either.
These are in bottles.
It's just a personal taste for me. Like it's got to be like really cold and coming out of a glass bottle.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a
Have some
can.
vodka in
gotta
it.
be cold.
And no beer.
Oh, just
It's got to be
I
straight.
feel-
It's got to be straight tequila.
In a can,
and that's
it's
a really
ice
great
cold.
tasting
You
beer.
crack it open, you have a sip, you put it down, you pick it up 10 seconds later,
Yeah,
it's already
it's warm.
lukewarm.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
English.
that's the
holder.
problem with it.
not English.
No, you keep it, mate. Keep it in a stubby.
Yeah.
That shit stays cold. Well, not forever because you're not drinking it forever. You're not an idiot. I want another one in 12 minutes. I'm watching the footy.
12 minutes. Next penalty break.
Yeah,
Like,
God, yeah.
it goes down like lolly water.
That's why I was watching the footy last night, sitting there with the empty stubby and kind of waved it at Badana to get me a new one. She gave me the finger. Like the rude finger.
When she brought you the beer.
I did it 3 times. She brought me one the 3rd time. I'm like, persistence, guys. Persistence.
Well, that's if our wives have taught us anything. Let's keep bugging them until they do it.
I actually thought of you guys. I saw a little meme on Instagram the other day, and it was there's this guy telling a story, and basically his missus had her phone on charge in the kitchen. So he's sitting on the couch with her. He sent a sneaky text So she's gotten up to her phone, walked all the way into the kitchen because she heard her phone, and it says, "Can you get me a drink?" That is
So good. That is, I'm doing that. Totally doing
Why
that.
don't you put your phone on charge in the kitchen?
Yeah. My wife does that all the time.
That is great.
And then she runs out of battery like at the end of the day. I'm like, why don't you charge it overnight like a normal person?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, so she doesn't charge it overnight.
No, she gets home and charges it, and then doesn't charge it overnight. I'm like, what's
Foreigners,
wrong with
mate.
you?
Jesus.
my workmate that I sit next to every day, and like we work early hours. We're here at 5:30, and by like 6:15, her phone's dead. I'm like, how do you?
Oh my God.
Charge it overnight? What are you doing? Like, it's not like you didn't sleep. Like we're up doing morning radio. Like
You're sitting right next to a PowerPoint.
Yeah, plug it in
Yeah.
maybe.
Here's
No,
an
I
idea.
don't have a cord. I didn't
Buy
have a
a
cord
second
yesterday or the day
charger.
before.
I've got a charger on my bedside table, and then I've got another charger that I can take around with me wherever I go if I need it. It'll sit in the
Obvious.
car, or it'll be next
Practical.
to the couch. Or
See, if you got a
Pragmatic.
Samsung, anything plugs into a Samsung. They've
Yeah,
got
but
that
no one's
standard
got a Samsung.
Yeah.
connection.
I do.
I went to go
Me
visit.
too.
I went to visit my
50%
brother-in-law.
of us have access to Samsung.
My brother-in-law, who lives by himself, mind you, 1-bedroom apartment. He had I want to say he had 7 chargers in that 1-bedroom apartment.
Solid.
He had
My new
2 in
place,
the
I'm
lounge
looking
room,
at-
one
I'm
in the
looking to get a
kitchen, one in the
third.
bathroom, one in the spare room, one in his bedroom. And I swear maybe another one at the kitchen
in a
table.
1-bedroom apartment, walking the 7 meters to go get it.
I'm like, you don't even move around your house that much. You only stop in 3
It's like
places.
a 1-bedroom in New York. You can literally just sit in the middle of the room and touch the wall.
You honestly could. At all times, I could touch at least 2 Apple chargers. So why do I need
And he
this?
had a Samsung phone, which was weird.
The new houses now, actually, where the power outlet is, there's a USB port.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
do that in a lot of the kitchens. We do.
Yeah, that's nice.
They've even bought a new one now that's a double. So it used to be 2 power points with a single going like
Yeah.
horizontal, and now it's 2 power points with 2 going vertical.
Oh,
Most of them aren't
Genius.
licensed, by the way, just so you all know.
Yeah, right, okay. Because I've told the
So,
missus I'd like
careful.
that, in a new house build or something. I would love just the ability for USB. She says, yeah, but what about when they move on from USBs? I'm like, you budget.
It's the U in USB.
Yeah, but...
Universal.
Yeah, I know, but like they'll just... they'll update like the friggin' Apple charger. It's like, nah, here's something
well, yeah,
better.
they've got USB-C now,
Well, they've got wireless chargers now.
which is
so-
the mini one.
Yeah.
Good chat.
I've always wondered
Mate,
why
people are
they
interested.
don't call iPhone chargers Apple juice.
Oh, that's pretty good,
Get
actually. I like it.
I've seen that meme.
Apple juice? Yeah, I stole it. Like all my stuff, it's stolen from somewhere. That one wasn't stolen from
Hey,
Craig Ferguson.
if you want
for a change.
originality, don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we do no preparation if you haven't heard. It's time for the Get Into Geek Hairy Mailbag.
Weekly.
So Mike Dean writes into Facebook. He says, what are the chances of getting Joz back on as a special guest?
Oh,
Great
it's been a while.
question.
hasn't it? What was that? End of season 4 when Jaws was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, he lives interstate. Something I explained to Mike as well. He lives interstate, but his Teltac is broken down piece of shit. So it's not as easy to get here. So
And we don't have any disabled Teltac parking areas like around.
that's right. Yeah, he'd have to park on the
car park.
roof, which
Yeah.
is hectic because there's stairs.
Yeah. No lifts.
Yeah. Why
But
don't
no, I mean we've got a few more years yet, so I'm sure Joz will be back up
Yeah.
in sunny Queensland eventually.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
we might be able to try to get him to telecommute, and we can maybe try and dial in or something and get him.
I've been telling him to do some
Off-world activations,
off-world activation.
Oh, that's a good idea.
but he hasn't.
No,
I think I think Craig is keen to come back in as well. I think mainly because
I bet he is.
I think mainly because he's got a 1-month-old kid at home and he's keen to get out of the house.
I warned you, Craig.
He's actually come around to have lunch on Sunday, and he's like, I was like, oh, well, I was going to wait and to have you and everyone over for dinner or something like that. He's like, no, I just need to get out of the house. I was like, all right, I'll come on over and check the
After
place
1
out.
month.
Yeah, he's only got 17 years and 11 months to go.
Isaiah Herod has written in and he says, I love this podcast. Excited for season 6. Tilk does and shows more.
You bet he does.
Shit.
All
Yeah.
right. More.
Yeah, well, they
cinema.
needed to bring up the Tilk stuff a little bit better because Daniel's dead.
Yeah, Tilk needs to take a step up and
Yeah.
be more involved.
Yeah. I noticed they've given him a few lines in briefings and stuff. And the next
Yeah.
few-
Well, remember I was talking about a few weeks ago as well. He mentioned in some interviews and stuff like that. It's like he used to spend so much time like on set just goofing around with Shanksy. Like they were just best mates, just having fun, laughing, playing practical jokes on each other. So with Shanksy not there, like Judge is like, oh, okay, I
guess I better act.
I guess I better, get more involved and do some shit so the series doesn't get cancelled. And I'm out of a job.
John Stanford has written in. He might have been on the gear a bit. He says, Tard Cockwombles, 5 seasons in 2 weeks. My brain hurts.
Jesus.
Keep up the good work, but I'm glad I only have to listen once a week from now on.
You and me both.
Yeah, wow.
Look, not the first time I've been called a Tard Cockwomble, to be honest.
And that's a 5-star review. So.
Exactly. Nah, thanks for writing in, I think, John.
That's brilliant. And let us know how the if you've got private healthcare to cover all that brain damage from listening to
Absolutely. 5 seasons in 2 weeks. That is hectic.
Ridiculous.
Bloody good effort, though.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team,
I
John.
don't think your doctor would recommend that.
No.
No. Especially if your doctor's that German guy from last episode, the horse guy.
If your name's German Horse, the doctor, Dr. German Horse, you'd hate it.
Tommy Durant brings up a good point. He's written in and said, I know, I hate to say it, I just noticed things. I'm watching the end of Season 1 and beginning of Season 2, Apophis attacking Earth. Daniel gets mortally wounded and climbs into the sarcophagus. He comes out healed, of course, but so are his clothes. Where was he shot?
I think we mentioned that.
Yeah, I think we did. I think, didn't he have a vest on and it was covering, and then he got shot under the vest?
Something like that.
And then he closed the vest.
We explained it away somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, that was obviously...
Cooper.
I took a break. That was my bad. I paused. No, good call. Good call. Because as we see in this episode, bloody Jack in the sarcophagus, he's dead. Still got the cuts in his shirt over his heart.
It. And in the film too, when the James Spader, Daniel Jackson, gets out of the sarcophagus, he's got the holes in his shirt from where he was hit.
That'd be that movie budget.
Yeah.
Cutting some holes in some clothes. I would like that if they were really restricted on budget, though. Like, if Daniel gets shot and they, like, actually sear and cut out, like, holes in that shirt, and then, like, 6 weeks later we see, like, a Tok'ra wearing it or something. Like, hang on a second. Isn't that the shit Daniel was shot at in another planet, like, weeks ago?
That's like one of the... I think I've told you guys, one of the... maybe the second or third episode of Joss Whedon's Firefly, they've actually got the old helmets from Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah.
And they've painted them purple, and then they're wearing like purple like hockey vests, and that's their uniform as like Space Enforcers. It's hilarious.
Brennan and Rhys and I really used to make things work. We used to really stretch the budget, which was none when we were teenagers. One of us would wear a tracksuit top, and the other one in another scene would wear it inside out.
Yeah.
So
You're welcome.
That's like that,
Obviously a tracksuit inside out.
like Lano and Woodley when they'd buy just like 2 suits and then they just swap jackets.
Yeah. That was the character.
I'll buy a spot one. You buy a stripe
That was the
one.
character Mitch played called. He was a French assassin called Malaise Terreur.
Jesus.
And he was a full-blown pedo.
and
Yeah, what about his character though?
Oh yeah,
just to further the description of my favourite character I've ever embodied.
Full-blown
An
pedo.
inside-out tracksuit top of Brendan's from about 2 years earlier. His red, like presumably pajama tracksuit pants
Yeah, when I was
from when
8.
he was about 8. No shoes. I wore a red, like a deep, skinny but deep cooler bag on my head. As some kind of like top hat and a pink snorkel.
That's only how far you can get it on your giant noggin.
Yeah, and a pink snorkel, which is like my weapon of choice, but also the thing that I like to suck on when I wasn't doing anything.
And the snorkel was your weapon of choice.
You know what?
I totally forgot
Now
this
that I
shit.
think about it, I don't know that I ever knew where that snorkel came from. I think we came over to your place and you go, here, use
The pink
this.
one.
The pink
I
one.
thought that was yours.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm sticking it in my mouth. I don't even know who it belonged to.
I got that from the tip shop.
Was it yours?
Wow,
Maybe it was Brody.
there's so many
Found it on
great
the side of
sound
the road.
bites.
Sorry about that.
If anyone listening,
Sorry. So have you got AIDS right now?
As a director, I didn't care. Put that thing in your mouth.
Got to get the job done, Mitch.
Think about what Molester would do. Put it in
Give
your
a
mouth.
shit about tetanus. Or
If anyone wants to have a bit of fun, please go back to that and basically just cut all those incriminating
Yes.
pieces
Yeah.
of Mitch, what Mitch was just saying there, take them completely out of context and just put them into some kind of semblance of sentence
Well,
structure.
that's the
That would be
absurdity of it
amazing.
is it's all out of context. It makes no sense.
Yeah, watch the movie, mate. Even edited, it doesn't make sense.
We got one last one here from Joe McCready, the great Joe. He's got in contact with us on Patreon. He said, I've been watching
Great
SG1 every night in bed for 5 years, over and over
Hang
and
on.
over
No,
and
sorry.
over.
Sorry, it's not Joe, that's Lincoln.
Brothers. He says, thanks so much, guys, for the podcast. It's great to hear opinions and general chat about a show I enjoy so much, especially the little behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
I think you meant of the podcast. So thanks, Joe. Thanks for
Well
getting in
done.
contact,
Thank
mate.
you, Joe.
Joe McCready.
Credo.
Joey. It's
Time to find out if Rhys has been paying attention.
5 questions, Rhys. 30 seconds on the clock. It's time to find out if you have been
paying
watching
attention.
and just making mental notes in your mind. 30 seconds. Time starts after this. In Abyss, which is this episode,
Abyss.
what was the name of the technology that kept O'Neill trapped in his cell?
Oh, gravity manipulation.
I'll
Pass.
give you that. What is the title given to the most loyal gold human slave?
Lothar.
Correct. What is the name of the Tok'ra that blended with O'Neill?
Kanan.
What did Jack throw at Daniel?
He's shoe.
Name 2
Oh, shit.
items Baal used to torture O'Neill.
He's got this.
Knife or dagger. And poison.
Ooh, a bit more information.
Poison, bloody poison liquid.
Acid.
Acid
It's
was
acid.
the word we're looking for.
Unfortunately. Oh, God. I thought you had it.
It's fucking poisonous.
I would have also accepted sleep deprivation.
Do it. I mean, I was hovering over that,
Oh, you were so close to that.
but you
So
don't,
close,
you,
buddy.
you don't get it.
No, it's acid.
Rhys, your father made you wrong! You stupid son of a bitch.
Unfortunately. Daniel's back to tell you that. As soon as I gave you...
Yeah.
And the first one, the technology is called gravity field generators for those playing at home.
It's the same thing, mate.
Gravity thing. Yeah.
I would have accepted gravity.
Gravity
Oh,
manipulation.
yeah, if you had have said gravity or field or generator, you would have got it, which you did.
Thanks, Donald Trump.
Shame you missed out on that
Yeah.
that acid.
I know. If you had have said the word acid, you would have 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Poison on the inside, acid on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put acid on the inside as well, but
It just burrows through.
yeah.
We've lost him. Devastated. Episode 117. My God, we've been working hard. Oh, Get Into Gate.
More
Talking
sweaty.
Abyss. We will be back.
That was exciting. Be watching cops.
How hard, Mitch? Like an 8 hard or a 9 hard?
10 yards.
10
Oh,
hard?
it was a 9. It's
Nine
going
halves?
down to an 8. I'm starting to take the foot off.
Now that you've made me think about it.
Yeah. We'll be back next week to talk episode 7 of season 6 with Shadow Play.
Oh, one of the great shows.
Play with my shadow, Mitch.
Sounds hard. Until then, check out all of our old episodes on our Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast, podcasting outlets, whatever one's your favourite. You can find us on that. Hit us up on the socials. Subscribe, follow, tweet, share, whatever the like it is. You can hit us up Twitter, Facebook, and
If you
Instagram.
want to drop down into the abyss, you can join us on Patreon.
I was
Well
going to say
said.
don't get lost in the abyss and join us on Patreon. but
That's true
you're,
too.
You're saying Patreon is the abyss.
It is the abyss. Come on down. It's
Yeah.
fun. We're
Once
all
you're
having
in,
fun down
it
here.
is.
You're like, why wasn't I
Yeah.
here before?
Yeah. It's like the secret, dirty underbelly of Stargate fandom.
It is.
Telling dirty
Legit
from the
is.
outside. Once you get in, you're like, I
Patreon.
love the
Oh, it's
filth.
filthy.
Patreon.com/Get Into Gate.
Beautiful stuff. Or if you want to send us an incoming transmission,
Yes,
as we heard
send it.
today, send it on to getintogate@gmail.com.
Get that in our wormhole.
Shall we draw our winner?
Let's
of
do
our,
it.
Of our Patreon giveaway?
Oh, shit. Who's going to win it?
And the winner is, drum roll, Mitch on the pots and pans. Sarah Bell!
Love it.
Congratulations, Sarah. You've won our little open wormhole pendant necklace thingy. What do you want to call it? So congratulations, Sarah. Get in touch with us.
Slip into our DMs.
Yeah, via whatever you want, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, with your details.
At gmail.com.
And
In saying that, we probably won't check Twitter because Alvin got in contact with us via Twitter.
That's
and then we
true.
got back in contact with him and said, "Oh, what's your address?" He goes, "I messaged you in Twitter like ages
right,
ago."
Yeah, so maybe just get in touch with us via Patreon, and we'll grab your details and we'll get that sent out to you. So congratulations.
Yeah, probably email or Facebook messaging would be the best.
And we do have another one coming up next month.
Oh, shit. Look at you with the goodies, mate.
Woo! Just dropping it away like Santa Claus.
Maddie's special sack, you know.
Boom.
Hey?
Well, speaking of, I do remember Sarah Bell once saying that she was considering low pitch for her hall pass.
Yes.
So I tell you what,
Yeah.
if she rocks up wearing nothing but that necklace,
Jesus.
low pitch is just going to jump on that.
I kind of wish I got Low Pitch Maddie to MC my wedding, to be honest. That would have been epic.
Oh,
Yeah, Miles was terrible.
Don't know if your wife. I don't know if your
Miles.
wife would have thought the same thing.
Mate, doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
It wasn't her wedding. It was. I paid for it.
You guys would have had a solo moon, but just forever.
All right, until next week when we talk Shadow Play, you can catch us individually as well. Mitch_Lewis, I am on Twitter and Instagram. Maddie?
At High Pitch Maddie, I am.
Correct. I've just checked. Brendan?
At the Bren Gibson.
Rhys?
I'm at the Flying Gibson.
All right, episode 118 next week.
Get Into Geek.